Alright, in this video I kind of wanted to title it Other People's Projects, because these are kind of random sightings and things that I found this week over the internet related to the retro gaming scene. And this first one here is called Head to Head Atari Adventure. And I believe I came across this on the Atari IO forums. And what this is someone has decided to rewrite Adventure from scratch and make it multiplayer. And here it says 2 to 3 players connected over the internet, each with their own home castle. First one to bring the chalice to their castle wins. The rest of the game is pixel perfect reproduction of the original Atari Adventure. And then he has details here, and then you can sign up to be a volunteer, to be a beta tester. And then he has a link right here to his YouTube channel, which gives more detail, which shows a little promo video, which is really cool. So I would say if you're interested in this, go to his channel and sign up to be a beta tester. How cool would it be to be able to play Adventure multiplayer? Anyhow, the next discovery or thing that I found was the 8-bit guy, who is an amazing person, YouTuber. He just came out with his 7800 composite modification video on his channel, and at the end of it he discusses that he's writing a game called Planet X2, and it's a follow-up to Planet X1, which was another game that he wrote for the VIC-20, which I wasn't even aware that he was a programmer. But what it looks like the game is, it looks a lot like a Ultima type video game, and so that might be pretty fun, pretty cool to check out. So he's going to be doing a Kickstarter pretty soon, and I'm sure he'll be announcing it on his channel, and so I am looking forward to checking that out. And he also wants to release it in a cartridge format. So the 8-bit guy, everyone knows this guy, great videos, so go check it out. Next up, I came across this website, NESReproductions.com, and he does a couple of services. If you mail him an NES cartridge, he'll throw on these hard to find games, and if you want it on an actual cartridge, there's a list down here on his site, and he'll do that for $25, and depending upon the game. And then other services that he provides is he will copy your save game from a PC emulator onto a reproduction cartridge, back up any NES save game and email you the file, back up any rare prototype games, move save games from one cartridge to another, replace batteries in game cartridges, fix dead action game replay units, add composite video to NES top loaders, and install NES RGB in your Nintendo system. So I thought it was pretty interesting. If you're into NES and you have these types of issues, or if you want to get your hands on certain reproduction of games or prototypes, then check out NESReproductions.com. And then next up, I thought this was a neat little website, orionsoft.free.fr. What this is a gentleman that he's a programmer, and he creates these homebrew games for all these old consoles like the Dreamcast, Sega Master System, the Game Boy, PlayStation, and the Atari Jaguar. And he even wants you to hire him as a programmer, which I'm sure that would cost a pretty penny. But he does sell a lot of homebrew games that he's made on the site, and so for all of these different consoles, including the Jaguar. And so yeah, check out that website, and you might be interested in seeing what he has. And then next up, there was an article this week in PC Magazine, When Atari Ruled the World, and it's all about the Atari 8-bits. So it's a pretty neat article, and I would recommend checking it out. a lot of information on it, and it's not too often that you see that from, or at least not that too often that I've noticed that from PC Magazine putting out retro gaming articles. And yeah, a lot of games were covered here in the article. A lot of information. And then next up, a lot of you probably already aware of this, but Scott Stilson has a nice website, and in it he has an interview section where he interviews a lot of the players back in the day that were creating all these 8-bit games for Atari and so on. And there's a lot of terrific articles here, so you can see. And it's over at AtariCompendium.com. Alright, in this segment I wanted to talk about a couple of Kickstarter projects that are out there ongoing right now. And what I do is occasionally I'll go into Kickstarter and I'll just put in some keywords and see what comes up. And so right now there are 4 projects going on right now on Kickstarter that still have time left for people to pledge. And let's look at each one of these. The first one is the SID Waves, a vinyl tribute to the Commodore 64 SID chip. I thought this was a neat little project to be able to get the SID tunes onto a vinyl or onto a record. And so I think that might be fun, and I am going to pledge for that. The next one is the Commodore Story, Changing the World 8 Bits at a Time. This is a Kickstarter to create a book and a Blu-ray documentary. Here's what they say. We already have over 30 collaborators and rising, including Commodore and Amiga legends Leonard Tramiel, and then they list the rest of them right here. So I am going to pledge this project. Next up, Commodore, The Inside Story by David John Pleasance, the untold tale of a Commodore giant with never before revealed true stories of how a large corporation was mismanaged from hero to zero. I'm going to pledge this project. I like to support the Kickstarters, and this one looks like it might be fun. And I like to go back and learn about what was going on back in those times. And anyhow, and then the next one is the Best of the Commodore Amiga Demo Scene funding 2017. And all of these, except for the first one, the SID Waves, are already funded. The SID Waves has 27 days to go. And as of this recording today, it's April 2nd, 2017. There's only 17 days to go for the Commodore Story, 8 days to go for the Inside Story, and 7 days to go for the Commodore Amiga Demo Scene funding 2017. What I also like to do, let's look at see if there's any Atari projects out there. The only one that's out there is this Play Atari Pong on your coffee table. This looks like it's a giant coffee table, and it's not the way you think it would be. This is designed a little differently, but it's not for the faint at heart. It's what? Let me see. It's quite a bit of money to get one of these. $1,100 to get yourself one of these coffee tables. So as cool as it looks and everything, it's you got to have a nice chunk of change for it. And then every once in a while, I'll come in here and I'll look for classic gaming to see what's out there. And then I was interested in this, Stop Thief. I remember the classic board game Stop Thief, and the fact that they're restoring it and totally redoing it, and including newer technology like cell phones and stuff. I thought this would be a fun little project to back. And then last but not least, I try to, sometimes I'll search for retro gaming and see what shows up. And then there's a couple of projects here. The Maker Bueno, which has 16 days to go. It's already funded. This is a neat little one because it can teach you how to make not only electronics, but how to program the games, and you can get children involved with it, and You can learn a lot on this one if you have the time to get into it. This could be a great little Kickstarter. And then the other one I saw that might be interesting is this Super Plumber Brothers DVD. And it's already funded with only 7 days to go. And what this is like a comedy skit. And this might be a fun little thing to order. Let me see how much it is. $20 for the DVD. So I like supporting Kickstarter projects, and there's a lot of good stuff out there. And these are the ones that I was able to find when I was hunting for stuff today. So if there are any other interesting gaming or retro gaming projects or Kickstarters out there that I did not talk about on this video and you think should get more exposure, drop me a comment in the video's description. I'd love to hear about them.